You'd be surprised at how many people walk into an immigration interview thinking it's simple and end up blindsided by questions they weren't ready for. And the part nobody warns you about is this: officers aren't just checking your documents, they're checking your memory, your consistency, and how well you understand your own story under pressure. Right now, more interviews are being denied because of small mistakes. Mismatched dates, missing paperwork, answers that don't line up with what's in your file. And once it goes wrong, fixing it is expensive and slow. Hi, I'm immigration attorney Zaira Solano, founder of Solano Immigration Law Firm with over 14 years of experience practicing immigration law. And in this video, I'm breaking down the 3 simple rules every applicant needs to follow to avoid delays, avoid suspicion, and give yourself the best chance for approval. Because when you know how to prepare, what to do, what to say, and how to handle the pressure, you walk in confidently, starting with the number 1 rule that sets the tone for your entire interview. Let's get right into the first big rule. Arrive prepared. When you show up for an immigration interview in the United States, you're expected to know your own story inside and out. Don't assume you'll remember everything just because it happened to you. These interviews can be nerve-wracking, and even small mix-ups can turn into big problems. Let me tell you a story about a client, and I'm just going to call her Maria. I call all my clients Maria. Maria came to her marriage-based green card interview with her husband. She's lived her story, but under pressure, she got her dates all mixed up, and the officer asked about when they moved in together. Maria said this summer, about June, but her husband remembered it as February. That small mix-up made the officer pause, and suddenly the whole interview felt tense. Now, this doesn't mean you have to memorize every single detail or be a robot. It just means you should review your application and supporting documents before your interview. Go over the basics. When you arrived in the United States, details about your family, and if it's a marriage case, key moments in your relationship. If you're applying for asylum, review the timeline of your journey and the reason you left your home country. Bring a copy of everything you filed, your application, the supporting documents you sent, translations, and any notices you received from USCIS. Officers will reference your file during the interview, and being able to do the same thing makes you look organized and credible. And if you can quickly point the officer to a document and say, here's what you're asking about, that really goes a long way. Here's another thing. Check the USCIS appointment notice for what you need to bring. Usually, this includes your passport, work permit, driver's licenses, originals of important documents, and proof of your relationship or situation. For example, if you're approving a marriage, bring wedding photos, joint bank account statements, lease agreements, joint tax returns, or bills that have been mailed to you with both names or even separate names but showing the same address. Let's talk about what happens if you're not prepared. Officers are trained to spot inconsistencies or missing paperwork. If you forget a key document, they could reschedule you or deny your application. If your answers don't match your application, they'll dig deeper and may even think you're not telling the truth. So in summary, treat this like a job interview, but the job is your future in the United States. Prepare with the same seriousness. Review your story, review your paperwork, bring originals and copies, and know what to expect. This is the foundation for a successful immigration interview. The second rule is all about honesty. Never try to hide something or guess about an answer just because you think it sounds better. The officers aren't looking for perfect stories. We're all human. They're just looking for truthful ones. Let me explain why this matters. U.S. immigration law is built on trust. Lying or even stretching the truth during your interview can have serious consequences. If an officer believes you misrepresented something, they can deny your application, and it may affect your ability to apply again in the future. In some cases, getting caught in this lie can lead to being barred from entering the United States for years or even permanently. Let me share a quick story about someone called Mario. Mario was nervous about a minor arrest from years ago, something small, like a shoplifting charge when he was a teenager. He figured if he didn't mention it, maybe the officer wouldn't notice. But the officers have access to a lot of records. When the officer brought up the arrest, Mario denied it, and what could have been a small issue instead became a major problem. The officer concluded that Mario wasn't trustworthy and his application was denied. Here's the lesson. Immigration officers have seen almost every situation. They understand life is complicated. If there's something in your past, an overstay, a denied visa, a run-in with the law, don't hide it. Be honest, explain what happened, and show how you've moved forward. For most issues, there's a way to address them, but lying is so much harder to fix. Just as important as honesty is being direct. Answer the question that is asked. Don't volunteer extra information that wasn't asked, but don't dodge questions either. If you don't know the answer, it's okay to say, I'm not sure or I don't remember. It's much better than making something up under pressure. A practical example, if an officer asks you how you met your spouse, just tell the story simply, like you would tell a friend. We met at a mutual friend's birthday party in May 2018. Don't go off on a long tangent and try to make the story sound more romantic or more dramatic because you think that's what the officer wants. They're looking for consistency and for truth, not perfection. If you make a mistake during the interview, maybe you give the wrong date or forget a detail. Just correct yourself as soon as you realize it. Officers understand that everyone gets nervous and messes up sometimes. As long as you're honest and do your best to clarify, you'll be fine. The bottom line is the safest and smartest thing you can do is tell the truth and keep your answers clear and to the point. It's the best way to build trust with the officer and move your case forward. Now for the third rule, stay calm and be respectful no matter what. Your attitude and how you act can make a huge difference in how the interview goes. I've seen it many times. Clients who know their paperwork inside out but lost their composure under stress. Maybe the officer asks a question that feels aggressive or makes you uncomfortable. Maybe they press you about a detail from years ago. It's easy to get defensive or frustrated. I've seen it. But this is where staying calm is key. From the officer's perspective, they're just doing their job. They don't have anything personal against you. Their job is to verify your information, ask questions, and make sure you qualify for the benefit that you're asking for, whether that's a green card, citizenship, asylum, or something else. If you become argumentative, defensive, or rude, the officer may wonder how you'd act in other stressful situations. They might see it as a red flag. Let's talk for a second about what respectful looks like at an immigration interview. Show up on time. Dress neatly. It doesn't have to be fancy, but it needs to be clean and appropriate for an official meeting. Say, yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Listen when the officer is talking to you. Don't interrupt them and don't argue if you disagree with a question or it feels unfair. If you don't understand a question, politely ask for it to be repeated or explained. Now, there are times that an officer might seem harsh or ask the same question more than once. Sometimes they do this on purpose to see if you gave the same answer each time. Don't take it personally. Just answer each time in the same calm and direct way. If you feel your nerves getting the best of you, it's okay. Take a breath before answering. Some clients like to practice calming techniques like a deep breath or counting to 3 before they respond. Here's a real example. I represented a couple, let's call them Sam and June, at their green card interview. The officer asked them similar questions over and over, trying to see if their answers matched. At one point, June got frustrated and snapped at the officer. You could feel the tension in the room inside, and the officer spent more time digging into their story. If June had stayed calm, the interview likely would have ended much sooner and on a better note. Also, remember that if you don't understand something, you have the right to ask for a translator or to ask the officer to slow down. Don't pretend to understand if you don't. It's not disrespectful to ask for help, and it shows that you're taking the interview seriously and want to get it right. In some interviews, you might feel that the officer is making a mistake or being unfair. If you have an attorney, let them know right away. That's what we're there for. If not, stay calm and finish the interview. Then follow up with the lawyer afterwards. Never argue or accuse the officer during the interview. That rarely helps and could hurt your case. In summary, your attitude matters. Your attitude matters. Stay calm, stay polite, and remember you're there to give honest answers and move your case forward as smoothly as possible. So let's wrap this up. You just learned the 3 rules for a successful immigration interview. The first one is to arrive prepared. Know your story, know your paperwork. Review everything before you go and bring all the right documents. Number 2, be honest and direct. Tell the truth even if it's uncomfortable. Don't guess or make things up. Just answer clearly and directly. And number 3, stay calm and respectful. Your attitude matters. Stay composed, be polite, and keep your focus no matter how tough the question gets. Following these 3 rules gives you the best shot at a smooth interview and the outcome you want. But your journey doesn't end there. The next step is to know what to do if things go wrong, especially if you ever face immigration enforcement at home. That's why you need to watch the next video, Mass Deportation, What to Do if ICE Visits Your Home. In that video, I break down exactly what your rights are, what to say, and what not to say if ICE comes knocking. This could be the most important information you hear all year for you and your family. Don't wait. Click now, protect yourself and your loved ones. I'll see you over there.